Travis, preparing for another final series, your second year at the club and the defending Premier. Obviously exciting times once again for the Cobras.
Yeah, it is. I think it's probably good that we've been there before. The group last year was obviously fairly inexperienced in this sort of situation, so we're really happy with where we sit at the moment. We feel like we know what's ahead and just need to play our best footy.
Look, in the last round which you lost, you had 16 premiership players in that team, and right from the start you were keen to keep the team together. You must be pleased, other than a few injuries, which we'll talk about shortly, that you've been able to keep the core, or more than the core, of that team together.
Yeah, it's important, and I think it's a big part of what Bacchus Marsh wants their footy club to look like. So before I got there was a group of guys that had played a lot of footy together. Obviously 16 1-pointers last year, grand final day, and we don't want to go below that number really. So I think for at least the next few years, that's how it's going to look. So we are pretty happy about that.
Okay, so in the last round lost, you were missing Declan Filand, Matt Denham, Jackson Bolton, all premiership players. But basically, I believe they were probably rested for that game. Yeah,
Denham's the only one that might not have played if he had to. Filand been sore for about a month and benefited from the week off, and Jackson Bolton's a guy that always plays better fresh. So, yeah, so you'd say rested. Denham's the only one that's probably still not 100% likely to play this week. Probably better than 50-50, but not guaranteed.
All right, so obviously there'll be some players coming back there. Where's Scott Sherlock at? Obviously quite a substantial hamstring injury a few weeks back. Any chance? Yeah,
he's come along better than expected, so not a chance for this week, but we probably thought he'd be touch and go for grand final day if we made it that far. He started running, not of any sort of high intensity, but he's now guaranteed to be back by then if we get that far. It's probably a 50-50 chance to be available prelim final weekend if we play that weekend.
And the last one on injuries for yourself, the weekend, Dean Hedder suffered a bit of a shoulder issue, and Trent Angwin, the key defender, hamstring. Where are they at?
Angwin won't play. Yeah, Angwin's got a slight strain of his hamstring. It's the same one that he did against Melton South about halfway through the year. He missed 2. So best case scenario for us, he misses 1, potentially 2. And Hedder will play. We weren't sure exactly what it was with his shoulder, but it's just a cork. Got a Stevenson elbow in the shoulder, big man. So, yeah, Hedder will play.
Yeah, Brent, obviously I think Lakers, it was a disappointing end to last season. I know that's a long time ago, and there's been a lot of change in personnel since then. But there's no doubt that's been a stimulus for something to prove. There were injury issues at that point, but the boys, they've been up right from the start, and going into this final series, I think there's a real desire and determination to go all the way this year.
Yeah, look, absolutely. It burnt us really badly last year because we felt like we were a really good chance to win a flag, and obviously it hurts when you don't measure up to where you expect to be. And look, you've touched on it there that there were some things out of our control that probably weren't at our optimum. But this year our list is in really good shape, and come Saturday, we've got no excuses, and our list is in as good a shape as it'll be all year.
You'll be pretty well full strength after Armstrong, I believe, will be okay after that shoulder a few weeks back, and Jaden Hooper was basically rested at the weekend just to freshen him up like some of the Cobra boys, so you'll be basically at full strength.
Yeah, both would have played on the weekend if the result had a bit more weighting on it, but in terms of that, they'll both play this week and be full strength. So.
With obviously Nathan Pring coming back a couple of weeks ago, how vital has he been?
Yeah, obviously he's a real X factor for us and a really hard matchup for whoever we play against. So, he has times through the middle and down forward for us where he, plays different roles. But he's obviously an interleague player and probably end up winning Ballarat the game there at the end. So he's really important for us.
And obviously just gone down to the Cobras twice this year, but the finals, anything can happen?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we've been in both games right up till the end, and unfortunately we haven't got the result we wanted, but there's been positives come through that where we know we can match it with them, and they're deservedly the favourites going in and the reigning premiers, but we know that we can certainly match it with them in all aspects.
And Chuka Anderson being in good form in front of the sticks, how vital has he been?
Yeah, absolutely. He's straightened us up a lot, and I think he's the best kick in the comp. He gets the footy, uses it well, and a lot of leadership too. So he was one big one that we were missing towards the end of last year, which was probably hurt our structures quite a bit. But Chook's back and going really well, so that's a huge positive for us.
And has Moth been working on anything with you guys specifically this week so far, or just sort of back to basics?
No, just the same stuff we worked through all year, ball movement stuff, our structure stuff, and that's the stuff that you need to hold up at finals time, because, again, you don't play well and you get exploited by your Bacchus and Redans and Darleys, your good teams. So it's nothing different we're doing this week and that we've trained for all year.
Going to the loss to Redan, which is the freshest in our minds, obviously Mitch Phelps, the small forward, got off the chain, if you like, against you guys, and Nathan Pring is the same sort of player who, given the opportunities, 3 kicks, 3 goals type player or whatever. Any special tag or like for him?
Oh, we'll put a bit of work into him. Yeah, I really rate him, and obviously spends a lot of time on a wing. So we've got a plan A if he plays on a wing, and a B if he plays forward. But I think probably a lot of Phelps's opportunities come from a lot of ball inside 50. There wasn't enough heat around the stoppages and that, and we were probably off by about 5 or 10% on Saturday. And the good thing about us, I think we know, if we're off by 5%, we lose on Saturday. We lose the Saturday after. That's what we're all about. So we need to be at our best. We need to have a lot of pressure on the opposition. I think it's what we do without the ball that's important to us. And yeah, I've got no doubt if we don't apply enough pressure and the opportunities go inside 50, and blokes like Pring and Anderson get the opportunities, they'll beat us. So yeah, it's not too much, I think, the individual matchups. I think it's more the way we defend as a team around the footy. You're
a pretty even team. Not a lot of superstars. Thanks, as such. You've gone to the ultimate last year, but obviously Dean Hetter's been an outstanding addition to the team, and being able to stand up and take over the key role in the ruck, and also when he slips forward. How important has he been in this year's structure?
Yeah, really important. A good player. Was a very good player in the Ovens and Murray, and he's brought that form here. He started slow. He'd had back surgery last year and was a bit slow to get going. With Burton unavailable early in the year and carrying injuries, they probably both had to find their feet. And I think we've got a pretty good combination now. I think Dean's obviously potent forward. He's kicked a couple of bags. He probably adds from a forward point of view. One of our real strengths at the moment is that people talk a lot about Maximo, obviously, as our most dangerous forward. But we've got 8 players this year that have kicked 4 goals or more in a game. So you're not talking 1s and 2s. So we've got a lot of avenues to goal, and Dean's one of those players. So I think he's really added something with the ability to have a good option in the goal square as well.
On your forward line, Trav, on that subject, you had a 3-prong attack last year. You lost 2 of them for retirement, Richo and Damien, which cost you about 80 goals, I think, from memory last year.
Yeah, about 95. Yeah,
yep.
A lot of goals.
And as David said, getting Header freed up. And I must admit, I was concerned that we went from a 3-prong attack to one being Jarrah. Coulton stepped up. Getting Header meant you could get Burton back down on the forward line, which is where he was recruited for, if I remember correctly, as a forward.
Yep.
So you'd be pretty happy with the way that the forward line has functioned this year?
Yeah, we saw it as potentially a concern as well. So we obviously had to structure it a bit more, and the tall in the goal square has been part of that. Last year it was pretty much as simple as kick the ball inside 50. And between the 3 of them, one of them would work it out. So, yeah, we have to be a lot more careful with our entry inside 50 this year. And it hasn't hurt us too much. I think we were about 110 points a game last year, and we've dropped to about 103 or 4. So it hasn't hurt us overly, but we've probably lost a little bit.
And the other thing, as David said, we gave you credit for being a pretty even across-the-board team. I rate the Lakers as probably the most even team across the board. How hard is it to match up when they've got 18 basically guns?
Yeah, no, they're a good even side, and you can't put work into all of them. You just got to back your guys to do their job one out. There's always 3 or 4. Like, I'd be lying if I didn't say. I think Anderson's got 45 in his last 11 games. So Anderson's a big part of our plans. Pring's a big part of our plans, and we always keep an eye on Peters on the footy. So, but outside of those 3, you're right. It's pretty much a lot of it will come down to who wins a lot of those one-on-one contests around the ground on the day, because they're pretty even, I think.
Let's go to the midfield for Lakers, because that's probably, apart from the fact that you've been able to get Lucas Anderson up and running this year, and absolute dynamo in front of goal, but your midfield is just so important to your game. With as we heard, Nick Peters is the man that leads the way, and you've obviously got Clifton and Ben Taylor, last year's Henderson medalist, the way they work together is just so important to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, that's one of our biggest strengths, and the work that those guys, and it's not only just those 3 or 4, we've got hoops that can go through, and multitude of other, Lukey Bucknell, who's a very good player, so we've realistically got probably 8 players that can go through there at any one given time, and even Tim Malone's been spending time in the middle of the last couple of weeks and been getting a fair bit of it, so, and he uses the footy so well around the ground for us and sets us up, so we've got probably between 8 and 10 options that we can play to the middle at any given time if things aren't going the way we want, so that is a big part of our game plan, and they go a long way to setting up.
Last one for yourself, Brent. Where do you win this game? Where do you get on top of the Cobras? Yeah,
well, the midfield, it's got to start there, and I think most games are won in midfield, and with the guys we've got in there, we'll back them every day with whoever they go up against, and just peaking the calibre of Peters, Clifton, Taylor, and the others we've already spoke about. They're a hard unit to match up against. So, we believe we've got the fittest midfield in the comp, and they generally show that. Getting through getting towards the end of the games.
Travis, same question to yourself.
Pressure for us. I think it's pretty simple for us. I think if we bring enough, across the ground, we bring enough heat. I think we rank about 6 or 7 by foot. I don't think we're the best kicking side in the comp. I think our game's about taking away the opposition's strength, and Lakers are certainly really good by foot. So we bring enough pressure. I think we're good enough to win.
Travis, just quickly, obviously lost in the last game. Does that sort of renew the focus for the group heading into finals?
Yeah, it probably doesn't hurt. It probably just, again, we've got 2 or 3 really important things, I think, that decide outcomes for us. And there's 2 areas we were really poor on the weekend, and we got beat. So it made it a lot easier last night, reinforcing the areas that we need to be good at on Saturday. If we play that poorly and still win against Redan, you probably start to get to where there's not too much you can do as a coach, and you just hope that it doesn't hurt you on any given day. So I think it was good to resharpen the focus.